And in a few years, he's gonna make that same play, and he's gonna be dead inside, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I had a 5, and the guy folded. Cool."
T1K, the robot. Hey, don't push your fate on everybody else.
Hey guys, it's JC with Drop the Book. I'm sure you're already betting this NFL season with DraftKings, FanDuel, or your local bookie. It's time to drop your book and bet juice-free. You're getting screwed by the juice. It's crushing everyone. It's crushed me in my sports betting history, and now I'm betting juice-free with my friends on dropthebook.com. You can add me at username T1000. Start your 1-week free trial today, and let's gamble on a fair platform.
Welcome back to the T1000 podcast.
It's T1K.
T1K pod. And I just pulled up to the gate, and I'm like, hey, can you let me in? And I get this thing from the other end. We're like, yeah. You sound like you're dying. And
there wasn't very much enthusiasm.
You're the only guy that I've ever met in my life where if I link up with you in the morning and you sound like that, it could be for one of two reasons. It's because you got too fucked up the night before, or because you're just like, you're too sober. You've been too sober for too long. And it's starting to inflict damage on your spirit. How's the sobriety going? Because it doesn't sound like it's going very good.
It's every day's the same. No, it's great.
You excited for the next 500 days?
I feel great. My body's very happy with me. Mm-hmm. I don't miss hangovers, so it's 2 weeks in, but really 15 days because I started the day before September 1st.
Okay.
So 15 days of complete sobriety. Yeah, I don't miss hangovers. I don't miss feeling bad. I'm feeling good, but yeah, a little dullness. There's a little dullness.
The thing that I can't escape is like everyone always says that they like don't need to drink to have a good time, but those people always go home at 9 p.m. You know what I mean? They're never still out with you like late at night.
Yeah, you're just tired.
Rocking and
why
rolling.
are you gonna? This weekend I'm just tired. I just want to go home.
People get fucking carried away with it. Like I understand the life optimization and the, hey, we need to like be the best version of ourselves. But everybody's got this friend where like they get sober and then they just decide that like the optimal time for them to go to bed is like 9 p.m. And then that person is just removed from your life forever.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the sun and how our bodies naturally want to go to sleep. After the sun goes down.
But that's not the society that we're living in. That's what people don't understand.
That's not social.
They just... but dude, the thing
because
is like...
everyone gets off work at 5 or 6.
The thing that these people are missing too is that the social aspect of it is one of the most important things in health. Like this guy, Scott Galloway, has been doing a ton of like great research about just like what are the most important things for longevity and what's
doing coke with your friends.
Dude, sometimes you got to do coke with your friends. And he's talking about...
My mom's gonna love that part,
bro. I don't even get me. My mom just reamed me out for talking about coke for 10 minutes at the Laugh Boston show. But one of the things that he's talking about is like one of the number one causes for depression right now is complete lack of social connections. Yeah. And one of the things that's causing lack of social and like depression is, I don't know, if you're depressed, you're not going to live very long. It's just the way that it goes.
That's why I feel differently about this time. Like, cause I'm not turning down any social invites, and I don't feel like I'm limiting myself at all. And it's weird. Like, I don't think I have a drug or alcohol problem. I don't think I'm an addict per se. My father was an addict, and I know what that's like. And I don't think I have that part in me, but socially I've been drinking and doing recreational drugs for a long time. But it's kind of like a little cheat code if you're like, hey, I'm actually sober. Implying that you had like an addiction problem, because then people are like, oh, that's cool, man. Like they don't give you grief about it. If you're like, hey, I'm just not drinking, so then they're like, hey, pussy, like have a shot with me.
Yeah, most people don't want to are
So
afraid to not drink because they don't want people to think that they have a problem. You're leaning into the fact that
I'm like,
you're
hey,
I'm
14 days sober. And when you say like when you say the amount of days, people are like high-fiving you. Like, oh, great for you. Like,
yeah, good job, man.
It's nice. Yeah. So like, hey, I'm actually 14 days sober. Please respect that. So if I just, if I lean into like, hey, I had a serious addiction issue, then I get a little less grief, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just imply that you were gonna die if you
I
stop.
was spiraling and I need rehab.
So why like 500 days?
Chris Williamson, I heard him do that. He talked about it. He said he did a 500-day challenge one time, and it was it was pretty helpful. I don't know. Yeah. It just seems like something extremely hard to do. And
500 days is enough to like reset your entire system.
Also, that will prove to me like, okay, I have the discipline, I have the willpower. Like I've been getting some grief from my mentor about being weak on the willpower side. And I'm a very competitive person. Because
he doesn't really, neither one of them really drink, right?
Not heavy.
No.
He's my mentor is more like on the stoic side. He'll have like a glass of wine once in a while, but yeah, he was kind of making fun of my willpower, and that pissed me off.
What do you mean he was making fun of your willpower?
He was just saying I'm like I was weak in that department, and so the 500 days is an intense thing, and it's going to take it's going to take willpower. It's going to take a lot of discipline, especially for someone that's like in a lot of social settings with substances and alcohol and all that. So yeah, it's just like a personal challenge. It seems like a tough thing to do. And I also like 500 days. I don't know if I'll ever like really go back to going hard, but we'll see. I'm watching that Charlie Sheen documentary, and he was sober for years and then went back, just turned it up.
Well, I think that's why people get nervous when people do breaks, because for the people that actually are alcoholics and have severe drinking problems, when they take a year off or when they go back, it's not like, oh, I picked this amount of time to be sober and now I'm not going to be sober. It's a relapse.
He also smoked crack, and he said that was a big turning point.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to stay away from the crack my whole life.
Yeah, the crack helps. I mean, just like, but dude, the other thing too is like, I enjoy drinking for sure, but after the 30 or 40 day breaks that I've done, when I have my first drink and I'm sort of back on the wagon and I have just like one, I go, I'm not always crazy about the feeling that comes into me, right? Like, I just kind of feel like, I don't feel like loose, and I don't feel like, okay, this feels good. If I drink for the first time in 30 days and I get a beer in my system, I'm like, this makes me feel really tired and I don't like it. And then I'm like, well, what if I had two? That would probably make me feel better.
I think the 500 day thing too is a good, like I've been saying for years that I want a family and I want kids and I want, a wife. But those are just words. If I'm still like, if I'm still partying most weekends or a few times a month and have hangovers 2 or 3 times a month, that's not a like a sustainable routine. And that's not a routine I could have if I'm trying to build a family or a business or like settle down. Yeah. And so like, I think this is a good stepping stone, like to growing the fuck up.
I agree. I think it'll help a ton.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to have a family and kids and a wife, like the majority of my time is going to be spent sober.
Yeah, I think that's true. But I also think that I don't know if those two things are as linked as you. I think there's plenty of people that were drinking and met a wife and had kids, and it was fine.
Sure. And more of like it's more of like personally, like how kind of where, like the kind of man I want to be.
I actually think these people that go to Squatch Fitness and end up sobering themselves up and just go like, okay, I'm going to bed at 9:30 are the people that end up never meeting a wife and kids because they isolate themselves so aggressively.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to... Like, we'll see if I can balance that tightrope.
I agree, because I agree and I don't agree. So here's where I agree completely. I think that for me, I do not have a drinking problem, but I do have a hangover problem for sure. Where there's many days, for example, like this Saturday, where I didn't get aggressively fucked up on Saturday. At no point was I hammered or a mess. But over the course of, 10 hours, I had 9 beers. And when you wake up after having 9 beers, like, you just feel like shit. You just can't think well. Like, the writing's not going to get done. You're not going to jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I still ran 4 miles, pretty decent pace. But
you're a gazelle.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just am not going to be the number one version of me. I just can't do it. I can't pull it off. So, like, what is there to do? How do you fix that? I'm with you. Like, the easiest fix is just going none for me, right? Just I'm cutting it out. I can't.
And then staying social. Yeah. But then, like, again, I keep saying this. The past attempts, I've felt like there was something like lacking when I would go out, like an urge, like, oh, I need to drink, or I'm out at the bar, so I have these urges to drink, or like I feel like I'm missing out on drinking, or I like this desire to drink. That's so far. I mean, it's only been a few weeks, but that's gone. Mm-hmm. I have zero desire to drink. And I don't know, maybe you got to embarrass yourself a few more times till you get there. I don't know. I think I've embarrassed myself enough.
I think we're also, the three of us are pretty lucky in that when you are in poker or stand up, there's a community built in, right?
There's so many more people worse off than with the alcohol problem.
No, I mean that, like, if I were to decide tomorrow, I'm like, I'm never drinking again for the rest of my life. When it comes to, like, the guys that I used to go to the bar with all the time, like, that's a huge imposition. Like, that's a gigantic problem. But when it comes to stand up, it's like, yeah, I still have my spots and everyone's still going to be there and still hang out. And we're still probably going to go get food at some point. I don't think
I think it's something in your own head. If you continue to have the same routine and the same social life and saying, like, continue to go to all those spots, you just don't drink, and if it's not a big deal in your head, I don't know if it's actually a thing. Like,
but maybe that's the problem with the people that, like, really need sobriety. Is that's actually one of the first things they teach you in AA is, like, a lot of your habits are based on situations and spaces. So they're like, when people go to AA, one of the first things they tell them is, if you go to the bar all the time, you have to stop going to the bar.
Yeah, I've never been in AA.
Oh yeah, you need. Well, think about it. There's certain spaces that I just, like, associate with different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to quit nicotine, and me and Dean used to throw Zins in and watch TV every night. When we would get home, we'd sit on the couch, we'd turn on True Detective. You reach in, you throw a Zinner in, watch a little True Detective. 30 minutes go by, throw another one in. And now there's just an association in my mind
with True
of
Detective.
This space with True Detective and Zen.
Dean.
To this day, I mean, back in the day when I lived in China, I used to dip Skull Mint, which I, like, flew over from America. It was actually not Skull Mint, it was Stoker's Wintergreen. But I would dip Stoker's Wintergreen and watch The Wire. And now every time I hear the Wire theme song, it's been 12 years, I still think about Skull Mint, or I still think about, like, the dip.
It doesn't mean you have to act on it.
Yeah, and I get it, but for these people that are like, I need to change something, like, I need to get sober.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to act on it. For you, that may be the case, but for those people, it's like, it involves in some cases, a complete redefinition of your entire life.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't figured any of this shit out. Like I've been trying, I tried to go sober, last year for a year, and I made it 2 months. This has been a lot of trial and error. This has been a lot of failed attempts, a lot of like, I want to do it, I decide to do it, and then I fail.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think you should do it. It's just there is a part of me that thinks about you doing this and thinks about when I ran into you a month and a half into you doing this sober thing, and we sat in the sauna and you were genuinely the most miserable I've ever seen you in my entire life.
This time feels different. I don't feel miserable. Okay,
good.
I don't feel miserable at all.
Then I'm sorry I'm putting that fucking thing on you, dude.
No, you're not. I'm mainly joking when I'm saying like the colors of life have left and I feel dull. That's mainly jokes. I feel great, and my body feels like it's thanking me. Mm-hmm. Like I was putting way too much stress on it. Even drinking hard for like once a week. It's just too much. And I'm trying to work out, and I'm trying to like do all these other, I just can't afford it anymore. But I'm feeling good. We're playing some of the best poker of my life.
Let's go.
Every time I'm at the table, whether I'm starting to, it's getting fun. Like poker for me is getting really fun. I'm getting in a groove where I could sit down and just get my face torched for like 3 or 4 buy-ins and be down $20,000-$30,000, and inside I feel the same as if I was up, which is a really hard place to get to as a poker player, to just be in the same mental like mindset, down or up, it's a big achievement, and it's allowing me to have to turn around a lot of sessions and have big comebacks, and I'm loving playing right now. It's good.
Do you think it's because of the sobriety, or are you just like turning a corner mentally?
I think it's a ton of confidence that I've gotten from this year's upswing, of just, I mean, I've experienced a lot of run good and an upswing. So like that's built in a lot of confidence. And then, playing high stakes more consistently than I ever have. So it's like, my bubbles has gotten way bigger. So like before, I've always been, or the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, like my comfort level was grinding like 510 quarter, 2550, and then like when it got to like the 50-100, unless the game quality was amazing, where it's like I'm by far the best player. If I'm by far the best player at the table and we're playing like 50-100 or like sometimes the 200s out, as far as blinds, then I'm pretty comfortable. But like if you put me in a lineup with some killers and we're playing bigger than 25-50, then the comfort level starts going down and the confidence is a little shaky. But now I've been playing 25-50, 100, 100, 200, been playing some 400 big blind, and I've been playing with like some very good players more consistently. The confidence is starting to build.
Yeah.
So now like
you're all right playing high stakes with other nasty players.
I'm more comfortable playing high stakes with other like pros, and that's helping.
Nice.
That's helping a lot.
Is anybody like at the table kind of impressing you too? Is there anybody that you know of that's also on a big upswing where you're like, wow?
I mean, Jungle Man just won like the biggest heads up challenge ever televised. He won 15 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The guy that you played the heads up game with.
Yeah.
Who'd he play heads up?
He played this tech billionaire. I don't know his name exactly, but they played. Yeah. Have Brandon look it up. Everyone watched the match though. It was crazy. Monarch. After winning, yeah, that was it. In August, professional poker player Dan Jungleman Cates won over $15 million in a series of high-stakes heads-up poker matches against Finnish player Aussie. How do you say that?
I think that's how.
Monarch Katola. The matches, which set a record for the highest stakes ever played on a televised stream, took place at Onyx Club in Cyprus. Yeah, so that was crazy. That's a huge upswing for anyone on the planet, pretty much. He crushed him. He got beat the first 2 matches he lost, and then they upped the stakes and he crushed. So that was cool. Let's see. Crypto Max, a buddy of mine, he just recently had like a really big session versus some Chicago guys on a stream.
We like Crypto Max. Good dude.
The young buck.
The young buck.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Well, speaking of young bucks, let's check in on our boy Corey Irving here. So
Eyring.
Corey Eyring. Eyring. So first question I have here.
Sure.
Corey, I sort of got into his YouTube channel over the last few days, and one thing that I noticed about his streams that are like really different than a lot of people is some of the other streamers will, I guess, go around and ask everybody, hey, do you mind if I like film myself while I'm playing? And then so you know what they have. And then the camera angle is not filming the entire table. It's kind of just filming themselves or filming their hands. And then they commentate over it in post. One thing that I've noticed is totally different about what Corey's doing is he seems to be filming the entire table. Is that just a question of like boldness where you go up and say, hey, I'm going to get a vlog going. Do you guys mind if I tape the whole table with a, tripod?
I'm not sure on that one. I know like if he's at like a circuit stop, or a tournament, like when people sign up for tournaments, they're agreeing to being filmed. So you can just film the entire table without permission. I think it might be different in cash game rooms.
Okay.
When you're playing a cash game. So yeah, I don't know if it's a question of like asking the table. If you're in a tournament, I think everyone has to sign like like when they register for the tournament, they're agreeing to being filmed, basically. Yeah. And
then nobody at the World Series cares that you're bringing your own camera and filming.
Yeah, it's built into the tournament. Like,
well, sweet. So we both know Corey just from around the lodge. I think you know him a lot better than I do. But,
yeah. He I found his channel a couple years ago, and immediately was just like, I've lived this kid's life. I saw myself when I was in my early 20s, constantly putting all of my money on the line, trying to spin up a bankroll. And he's telling the story of thousands of kids that are trying to play poker for a living, and he's putting it out there in like a really awesome format. He's a great content creator.
And he's being pretty honest from what I'm seeing about where his bankroll's at.
Yeah.
And like, okay, if I win this is like life-changing money. And if I lose here, this is going to fuck me pretty bad.
I think he's built an audience and a following because it is so many people's stories, and he's telling it the best.
Yeah. And I've noticed a lot of these type of vlogs are picking up a lot of steam. And I think the reason is like everybody sort of has a fascination with watching, Daniel Negreanu and Phil Hellmuth go head to head. But for a while there, that in the World Series was kind of the only poker being televised. And now that YouTube is out, you can sort of see the grinder side, like the people that are on the way up.
Yeah.
It's the same way in stand up.
Yeah. Rampage is another really popular one. Rampage, Mariano, Wolfgang might be the biggest, I think. But yeah, they're all crushing the content game. What clip do you have here?
So this is a clip of our boy Corey Irving. He is here at the World Series of Poker.
Eyring.
He's playing He's playing an event. I don't think it's the main event.
He didn't play wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s.
Yeah, it's Michael Irving, dude. Michael Irving.
Corey Irvine.
All right, let's let this thing rip, huh?
Then the very next shuffle, I'm in the small blind with 10-5 offsuit. I decide to limp. The big blind checks, and we go to a flop of 8-7-5.
All right, so just one of the things that I really admire about the way that he does the streams is, first of all, he's got the graphics down, so he's got this figured out. But he also does a really good job of like sort of narrating exactly what he has. So when you're just kind of listening and have it on in the background, you know what's going on.
It's really engaging.
Yeah, it's really, really engaging. All right, so this is tournament play, by the way. So these are not actual chip count. These are not cash value chip counts, but this is what's going down. So he's got 10-5 offsuit, 5-7-8.
You sound like a poker player. This is impressive.
Yeah, dude, I did some research. Your boy did his homework last night.
And he bets 5,000. It's a large size, but I flopped a pair, so I'm not going anywhere just yet. The turn card is the jack of clubs. 10.
We got to get our boy some vitamin D.
Yeah, he looks white, dude. Corey's looking white.
That's what I looked like too when I was playing. Yeah. You just play poker 12 hours a day. You do not touch the sun or look at the sun.
All right, so
he straight and introduces some two-pair possibilities. I check again. The big blind keeps his foot on the gas. This time betting 11,000. I think our hand's too weak to call again, but I decide to get creative. I have a 10 blocking a straight, and I have a 5 blocking two pair. I think my opponent's overvaluing an 8 or a 7. We lose to that hand, but I don't think he can withstand max pressure. I decide to turn my hand into a bluff. I put in a check raise to 25,000. All right,
let's hit a little pause. What do you think of this this placement here?
It's pretty aggressive. He's taken the 10 blocker and so the 10 blocker is basically 9-10 is the nuts on this turn. Mm-hmm. So he's essentially blocking the nut hand with a 10, and it is a hand that he would probably play in a similar way. If he had 9-10 offsuit, he's probably just limping the small blind. So he's taking a hand that is not good enough to call a bet on the turn with bottom pair, and he's turning it into a bluff, trying to apply pressure to middle pairs, 8s, 7s.
So playing this aggressive in this situation, is that something that you would ever think about doing? Like,
sure. Yeah. Well, so this is a small blind, big blind battle, and a lot of times when everyone folds to the blinds, it becomes kind of like a very aggressive war. Like whoever's the most aggressive is going to win the pot. So I mean, but this is it's definitely on the aggressive side.
The big blind is undeterred, and he makes the call. My chest tightens. We clearly have the losing hand. Maybe the river card can help us out. No, we're sitting with a stone cold bluff. If this goes check,
and we have like half pot left. So
one of the things
SPR, our stacked pot ratios is 0.5,
which is not great.
Yeah, we I mean, if we bet, we have to bet all in.
So one of the things that I kind of admire about Corey's channel is he's talking about just how like Butchie's freaking out a lot in these, and just he kind of is very open and honest about the internal monologue.
Yeah, he hasn't died inside yet.
Yeah,
which is nice.
When you see
that comes later.
When you see a streamer that's like talking like this, and they're like, "Okay, I'm freaking out. This is crazy." Do you think they're giving away too much of their inside mental intel to people that might be playing them in the future?
No. I mean, no. He's just. I mean, it's making everything more engaging, and he's just giving his real thoughts and feelings. I don't think it's giving away, tells for the future.
Anything at all. All right. Let's let it rip, Brandon.
Check. We're surely going to lose. I can feel my opponent's glare. I don't think he believes me. Do I shove all in or give up and preserve my tournament life? I go for glory. I'm all in for 45,000 chips. If he calls, I'm eliminated from the tournament and my day will be over. He doesn't instantly fold. I can't breathe. I'm trying to control my breathing. My heart feels like it's going to pump out of my chest. I feel like he's going to call. Stay calm.
What does this guy have? Like 8'9", 9'7"?
After 90 agonizing seconds, the big blind comes to a decision. Please believe me. Please buy my story.
Queen 8 off. 8-6.
He folds! Let's go! We pick up a massive pot, back to back to back, skyrocketing over 100,000 chips. Let's go!
Devious dog. I was bluffing, dude. I was bluffing. Oh, devious little dog. Oh, dude, that one felt so good. That was a massive pickup. We went out, but now we have piles. We are sitting comfortably. Wow.
And in a few years, he's gonna make that same play, and he's gonna be dead inside, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I had a 5, and the guy folded. Cool."
T1K, the robot. Hey, don't push your fate on everybody else. No,
this is what poker that, like, when you get in thousands of situations like this, and eventually like the excitement and like the rush kind of gets subdued, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I bluffed. All right, next hand. But that's also a good thing. I mean, when you become less reactive and less emotional, and the highs and lows, start to narrow, and the needle doesn't move as much, you become more dangerous.
It's like an antidepressant. I mean, watch the highs. It's like an antipsychotic medication.
Watch Phil Ivey play. Like, you can watch, especially like Phil's even gotten better at this over time, and now he's in a place in his life. He's mentally, physically, like, super sharp and healthy. When he busts a tournament, or if he doubles up, you can't tell the difference. It's the same reaction. It's the same emotional state. There's no change. Like, I watch him bust these tournaments on Triton. These like, $100,000, $200,000 buy-ins, and he'll bust out, and you can't tell if he just doubled up.
Yeah.
There's just zero reaction.
Do you think there's that's kind of tough, that like the longer you get in it, the less
he talks about this
emotionally it affects you.
Yeah. It's
like a paradox.
The part that makes a great poker player also makes social connection and relationship outside the poker, like off the poker table, sometimes challenging, because I've actually started to find this with my relationships with pursuing like a woman. I've had a few girls tell me this, where it's like, I can't read you, like you're not emotional at all.
You're not giving me anything.
You're not giving me anything. And it's like, I'm playing high stakes poker all the time where I can't react.
It's the ultimate dopamine flood, and you're not getting affected by that.
Yeah, and well, yeah, like for my career,
think, baby, if I lose $100,000 and I don't give a fuck, you think I'm gonna care if you suck my dick?
No, it's more like, are you there? Are you home? And I've always been like an emotional kind of reactive person when I was younger, and now I'm training that out of me, playing poker and with like the things I do off the table. Yeah, I've come across where it's, in my personal life, I just am not reactive anymore, and I'm not giving a lot of like emotional support where maybe I could be. Because like there'll be like a dramatic situation that's happening in my personal life, and I'm monotone and non-reactive, and like, okay, like I just don't have like, because like a few hours later I got to go play 100, 200 and buy in for 100 grand, and I have to be like dialed in and unreactive and emotionally like just level.
Look, lady, I got to be emotionally unavailable pretty soon. So let me let it rip right now.
I know your dog just died. It's not that I don't care. I just can't like get into this right now.
Oh, sorry.
Please.
I had a question about this blog, and maybe this is dumb. I'm thinking of it from like a sports perspective, because you talk about how people study players and their habits a lot. Do you think making a blog like this, if you were playing Corey Eyring in a big giant tournament, don't you think you could come watch this and learn from him? Or do you think it's just part of the risk to get followers, the money reward, the fame it's given them? It's like yin and yang. Yeah,
I mean, sure, you can study these things if you're going to play against him, and study his body language and his lines from these videos. But in the grand scheme of things, like he's a content creator. Like that's the avenue he's going down. If it was just like professional poker and to play poker for a living, he wouldn't have to film anything. So the reward's so much greater for him to be an open book.
Yeah, he gets the followers, the support that way, and it's like, sure, if someone learns a bluff from me, but there's also so many like variants and luck that he also is a smart kid, and he rewatches these videos in the editing room, and he can learn how to give off false tells, and he can learn about himself. Like, it's not like he's watching it too, and he's like, oh, okay, I did that there, and he's aware of these things. Okay.
Same with like stream players. I'll go back and watch certain streams and see how people perceive certain actions I do, and then I can use that to maybe do the same thing in the next spot, but with a different hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking too, because it's got to be so tough where you're adding this extra element to it.
Yeah, I mean, watching, you're like, oh, I see him do this and this. Yeah, but he can see that too.
100%. There's also another thing of like, dude, last year I did 2 of those day in the life videos where I run around with a camera guy, and it like, dude, it fundamentally changes the way that you are doing stand-up, because you're just thinking like, okay, the camera's rolling, I need to be talking, I have all this going on, and it for me, it breaks my focus so much, and it makes it so hard to like actually follow through and do what I'm trying to do. And so I don't know. The
streams have helped me a lot, being in front of camera every weekend.
But there's being filmed by somebody, that's one thing, but being in charge of the filming too, where you're like the director and the subject the whole time, and having to think
you're
about
filming yourself. Walking around.
I'm running around
trying to be a part of we're doing some more Laugh Higher tapings, and they were like, do you want to be on the show or tape one? I was like, no. If I'm going to be like the guy editing and producing this, that's the only hat I want to wear. I get what you're saying. It starts to cross over, you lose track. But then I think like you're saying with the live streams, you have to be. It's the direction you want to go, and it's you're not like the only character of it.
Yeah,
which is good. Whereas like the vlog stuff, you become the center of attention.
100%, dude.
I had a friend. This is when the first year I moved to Austin. A friend in town, and he was a content creator, and he put me on camera, and it was like one of the first times I've ever been put on the spot, and I mean it was a disaster. I completely like locked up and started mumbling and couldn't like form sentences, and looking back it was like, okay, that was a great experience. Like like the only way to get comfortable is by just putting yourself in the situation, getting in front of a camera more and more often, and then shortly after I started playing on streams when the TCH stream and the Lodge stream first started, and the quality wasn't that good, but it was all building up to like now, like when I go into a stream room, it feels comfortable. It feels like home. Like it's just regular.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the camera does fuck with everything. It's so crazy, and I think it's one thing that I need to kind of adjust myself for. Where I've had like sets where I bring out the camera and I go set it up, and then I just fucking tank because I'm thinking like, oh, I gotta nail this. I'm being recorded. Where it's like the usual looseness that would come along with it is gone.
It's an aspect that a lot of the chat pros, they don't realize, and so like people that watch the poker live streams, they all criticize and think that they could crush the games, and it's an aspect that they don't calculate in, because I see it every time when someone new comes to the stream. They sit down and they see like 5 cameras pointing at them, and all of a sudden they're just like a deer in the headlights. Yeah. And then they're trying to play poker, which probably for them is high stakes, whatever we're playing, and they just lock up and they either play way too tight, way too loose. They just go off the rail. They lose their mind. And then it's like, oh, I thought you were gonna, yeah. They have no idea like what they're in store for, because they just watch it on their home computer or TV or whatever, and they see all the cards, and it's like, this is super easy. These guys are playing really bad. I could crush. And then you sit down and it's like, oh shit, there's 5 cameras pointed at me, and I'm having to think about the poker game, and then all these, they lose their mind. It's great.
I've been there, brother.
It's great.
I've been there. So this is high stakes poker with our boy Nick Airball. Here we go.
Yeah, Airball's not in this hand, but I pause it real quick. I got sent this hand by John Dorsey, Goob, my buddy Goob, and it's very interesting. So we've discussed the Nick game a bunch on this show. Have we discussed the Squid Game?
Dude, I've heard that. I've seen it played, and I know we've talked about it, but I forgot about what it is.
Okay, so the Squid Game, and I played this in Vegas this summer. It's basically how everyone else plays outside of Texas. Like, everyone is playing this version of the Nick game now, and it's called the Squid Game. So instead of winning a hand and showing it and get rid of your button, you win a hand and you receive a button. And if you...
I remember this. Everyone starts out with no buttons, and you play the number of hands. That's the number of people at the table.
Yeah.
And so as you accumulate buttons,
so there's
whoever does not have a button at the end has to pay out to everyone with a button. And the more buttons that you have, the more you have to get paid out.
Yes. The more losers equals the buttons evaluation rising. So let's say you're playing, I think they're playing like 7-handed. So they would put 8 buttons in play. And so there would be 8 hands in a row where each pot would have a button in it. And once all the buttons are out, whoever doesn't have a button in front of them has to pay everyone with a button. And if you have multiple buttons, you get paid multiple times. And so in this hand, the game is on. Senior Tilt has 2 buttons, and the other guy has 2 buttons, and then the third guy has 0 buttons. So the third guy with 0 buttons is incentivized like really strongly to try to win this pot and to win a button. I forget the other guys' names, but yeah, let's go into the hand. So this hand starts with Senior Tilt with 9-8 of clubs, and it's 100 to call. I think he opens to 300.
10 of you think that he is either going to break even, which means gives it all back,
he open to?
Or lose and go on tilt. Wow. No,
sorry, 1300. He opens to 1300. Gaston calls 1300 with Queen Jack off. No, sorry. Gaston 3-bets to 4000 with Queen Jack off. All right, so Senior Tilt, everyone, the beautiful thing about this game is everyone's incentivized every hand, because if you win another button, you're getting paid more, and if you're keeping another player from gaining their first button,
that's another payer.
That's another loser. Yeah, so everyone's incentivized every pot to go after it, so that it creates a more aggressive game. So you see the open to 1300, the 3-bet to 4000, and then Pennzoil Don, who has no button, is incentivized to play the pot with no money in the pot just to try to win the button. So he cold calls the 3-bet of 4K with King 9 of diamonds.
It says if you can vote, you can like. It's like, right? It's like dodgeball. If you can dodge a bet, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can vote, you can
It's all about incentives. And this game creates massive incentives for everyone.
Yeah. Let's go. So, anyways.
So Senior Tilt flops open-ended straight draw. Gaston flops top pair queen kicker, and Pennzoil flops gutter, a gut shot straight draw with a backdoor flush draw and 1 over. There's 12K in the pot.
$4,000. Call.
So Gaston leads 4K. Pennzoil calls. Senior tilt calls. Turns a 10 of diamonds. You can keep going. I believe it checks through. So now top pair is going to get a little cautious because there's a lot of 10s in everybody's range, but it checks through. Clean river. Clean river for Gaston here.
So nobody really got what they were looking for here.
Yeah, everyone missed. The 2 straight draws missed and the diamonds missed, and then now it's on senior tilt.
Senior tilt's going to bluff at it. I don't think this works, but we'll see. $22,000 bet. That's a big bet. Straight draws missed. I mean, senior tilt basically.
All right, so
this is the interesting.
So that's an insane bet with nothing, right? So that's.
Well, I mean, it's applying a lot of fold pressure.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna bet with 9 high, you should probably make it big. Potentially even bigger than the pot. So the interesting part about this hand is Gaston's tank on the river. So it starts as soon as he sees the $22,000 bet. He's kind of squirms in his chair a little bit, and he begins to tank. And I think Pennzoil Don is picking up on all this, of like the slight uncomfortability of Gaston, and yeah, just play the clip. It's like it's feigning weakness. So
Gaston's reads have been
his body language and the way he's the length of this tank and like the
suss this one out. And look at that. What
all right,
ball.
Pause it real quick. So this is kind of like a really cool thing with poker is you can just tell that like he was never thinking about raising. Like he was between he was just trying to pick off a bluff. And so he's not like super strong. And yeah. I don't know this Gaston guy too well, but he seems like a good player. But Pennzoil Don's kind of picking up on this stuff. Like, okay, he's trying to pick off senior tilt who's bluffing. He doesn't have a super strong hand. He wouldn't have thought about it like this and then just called with a 10.
Yeah.
So Pennzoil Don's putting him on on a weaker holding.
So if he had a great hand, he's going to raise here.
Well, there just doesn't seem to ever be like a consideration of raising.
Yeah.
It was more like we're gonna
fold or we're gonna call.
Yeah, we're picking off. It just seemed like he's picking off a bluff, and so Pennzoil Don kind of like springs into action.
Again, Gaston with the read. He's down a lot, by the way, but
right.
It's the way he called.
Not because he's playing bad. That's for sure. Gaston with the call. Pennzoil. I don't know what he's thinking about here. I mean, you're not making a move, right? This is a $22,000 bet.
65.
What?
Whoa!
Oh
holy shit!
Bad call, Gaston.
Now watch this.
Oh, that is sick.
Okay, so
What a play here from Pennzoil.
all right, wait. Let's hit a little pause here. So the guy who originally put the bet in has folded because he was
Snap folded. So now
he's been caught.
Yeah, Pennzoil Don. He feels really good about the snap fold, and he's thinking he read the situation correct. That senior tilt was bluffing, that Gaston has a mediocre strength hand, and that he's bluff catching, And so and Pennzoil Don's thinking, okay, this is like a good opportunity to be super aggressive and
take some money
and to get both of them to fold. One of them's bluffing for sure. One of them's light on a light call, and so he's applying a shit ton of pressure.
So now Gaston's going, all right, why the fuck would
yeah, but this is where Gaston it's pretty impressive.
65,000. 65.
You get it up.
I mean, pretty much snaps.
9 high.
Snap calls.
Pretty much snap calls.
Snap calls.
What just happened?
So
I don't think none of them have a fucking tan.
So the Vietnamese accent makes it so much funnier.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah, Gaston with I think Gaston is just self-aware. Like he's self-aware enough to know that. All right, he's like, okay, I was feigning weakness. I looked like I was bluff catching with a light hand. He knows that. Pennzoil Don knows that and is taking advantage of that fact. And so he snap calls with still like a weak hand.
How do you know the difference between him taking advantage of that fact with king high and him taking advantage of that fact with like really good cards?
So there's two things to it. There's like the intuition side and the feel side, and then there's the technical side of, does Pennzoil Don check 3 10s on the turn? So the technical, like the theory side of it is when he checks top pair to Pennzoil Don on the turn, and Pennzoil Don checks behind, and how fast he checks behind, how long it takes for him to check. Does he do that with a 10? And so probably in Gaston's mind, when he's thinking about the hand and the way it was played, he's not giving Pennzoil Don a 10.
No.
Because
so it's all based on previous movement.
That's the technical side of it. And then there is like the feel, there's like the feel part of the hand too. With like knowing that he looked weak on the river call, that he looked like he was just bluff catching light, and that Pennzoil Don's taking advantage of that part. That paired with, okay, he doesn't play a 10 like this, and my jack is probably good. All equals him snap calling. But it's still an impressive play, because I mean, it's a lot of money, and a lot of people can get in their heads in these spots and start thinking about the money and get nervous, and then not make the correct play. But he clearly just snapped him off and read the situation perfectly, and won a $176,000 pot. Yeah, I've never played with this Gaston guy, but that was a good hand.
It was a great hand.
It was a good read.
It's a great read. I mean, I feel like I've kind of learned more about this guy's, I don't know, just the way to play like cards like that off this one sequence than anything in a while. So good send in, Goob.
Yeah, that would have been really something if Pennzoil Don checked behind a 10 on the turn. It clearly would have gotten him paid. It's a tough play to make. I've seen it done, but it's really hard to like turn a really big hand and have two people check to you and not put any money in the pot.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, the majority of the time, you're just going to bet when you have 3 10s. So that kind of made his river decision.
Truly brilliant read. And I have an idea. I think that we should start taking in questions from the fans, like poker advice questions.
The fan?
Well, we got 100 views on the last episode in the first day, so we're doing pretty good.
There are multiple of them out there.
We're going to gain steam, dude. We're going to gain steam. So
do we have a fan question?
I'm going to maybe like set up a Google form or an email address, but you can find either one of them on the Instagram page. So if you have questions for the pod, you can find it right there on our Instagram and hit us up.
Oh, and, so that we're giving the information now, and we're going to take a question like next time?
Yeah, well, I'll put it on the Instagram story, and we'll figure it out.
Cool.
All right. Yeehaw. Let's go.
See ya.